In-show advertising is as old as late night itself, but as shows face declining ratings and shrinking budgets, sponsored content, or brand activations, as they're called in marketing circles, has become increasingly common and, at times, more elaborate than ever before. In this recurring feature, we keep tabs on how late-night shows are working to wed commerce with comedy. For its first piece of sponsored content in over a month, Jimmy Kimmel Live went big, to the tune of 2,518 pounds. JKL's sidekick. Guillermo Rodriguez stepped into a familiar role to promote restaurant chain Raising Cane's, acting as a news reporter in a fake news piece. As the usual face of Jimmy Kimmel Live's brand integrations, Rodriguez has played a reporter in past sponsored pieces, including a series of segments for JCPenney earlier this year. This time, the security guard Doc's sidekick was reporting for PNN, the Pumpkin News Network, from the heart of Hollywood, where a 2,518-pound pumpkin had mysteriously cropped up, shocking pedestrians and confusing police. Close-up shots of the pumpkin reveal it's covered in an elaborate hand-carved depiction of Los Angeles and the Raising Cane's logo. Interviewing witnesses, Rodriguez manages to find the artist culprit immediately. "It was me, I love pumpkins and Halloween, so I decided to bring a giant one here to Hollywood," confesses Todd Graves, owner and founder of Raising Cane's, the second largest pumpkin in the country. Graves' prized fruit is a personal endeavor for him and a recurring theme for his company. A noted fan of Halloween, the founder has become known for acquiring the world's largest pumpkins and using them to drum up hype for Raising Cane's. Last year, Graves purchased the largest pumpkin in the country, a 2,741-pounder carved with more Raising Cane's themed artwork. While the JKL segment is part of a formal partnership with Raising Cane's, the new pumpkin's appearance in Los Angeles was not just staged for the show. Raising Cane's held a grand unveiling yesterday outside the TCL Chinese Theater, with stars like Jesse Palmer and Landon Barker on hand to celebrate the achievement alongside Graves. After thrusting his microphone into Graves' face, Rodriguez interrogates Graves on a new topic. "There's a rumor that I'm very hungry, and that you have a basket of Raising Cane's chicken fingers behind your back," says Rodriguez. "Any comment on that?" Offered a chicken finger, Rodriguez is content to toss back to Jimmy Kimmel in the studio, but not before Graves presents the security guard with a miniature pumpkin carved in his likeness. Sponsored segments have become a regular part of Jimmy Kimmel Live. But the Raising Cane's spot marks the first one since Jimmy Kimmel's return to the air following his controversial temporary removal in September. Prior to Thursday's show, the show had not trotted out SpawnCon in this way since a pre-taped skit for Kit Kat in mid-September. In an era of fragmented audiences and tightening budgets, elaborate brand activations are no longer just commercial breaks. They're becoming the main event, as a 2,500-pound pumpkin on Hollywood Boulevard vividly demonstrates. Hollywood. The landscape of late-night television is undergoing a quiet but profound transformation. The traditional model of a host delivering a monologue at a desk, interrupted by commercials, is increasingly being supplemented and sometimes upstaged by a more integrated form of advertising. Sponsored content, or brand activations as they're known in the parlance of marketing, has evolved from simple host read ads into elaborate, high-concept comedy segments that are often indistinguishable from the show's regular bits. As networks face declining linear ratings and production budgets are squeezed, these partnerships have become a crucial revenue stream, forcing shows to become more creative than ever in the art of marrying commerce with comedy. This new reality was on full display this week on Jimmy Kimmel Live, which returned to the sponsored content arena with a segment that was, quite literally, too big to miss. Weighing in at a staggering 2,518 pounds, a hand-carved giant pumpkin served as the centerpiece for a promotional piece for the chicken finger chain Raising Cane's, marking the show's first such branded integration in over a month. The segment leaned on a familiar and beloved formula, deploying the show's charismatic sidekick and security guard, Guillermo Rodriguez, into the field as a roving reporter. Rodriguez, who has become the unofficial face of JKL's brand integrations, reprised his role, this time for the fictional PNN, Pumpkin News Network. Reporting from the heart of Hollywood, he feigned bewilderment at the sudden appearance of the colossal gourd, which was shocking pedestrians and confusing police. The comedy was gentle and visual. Close-up shots revealed the pumpkin was not just massive, but a work of art. intricately hand-carved with a detailed depiction of the Los Angeles skyline, complete with the Raising Cane's logo prominently displayed. In a hallmark of these lighthearted segments, Rodriguez's investigation immediately and effortlessly found the artist and culprit. It was me. I love pumpkins and Halloween, so I decided to bring a giant one here to Hollywood, confessed Todd Graves, the owner and founder of Raising Cane's. This confession, however, was more than just a scripted line. It tapped into a genuine and well-documented personal passion of the founder. The segment, while a formal paid partnership, was cleverly built around a real-world marketing stunt. Graves is a noted Halloween enthusiast who has made a tradition of acquiring the world's largest pumpkins to generate buzz for his company. Last year, he purchased a 2,741-pound behemoth, the largest in the country at the time, and similarly had it carved with branded artwork. The pumpkin featured in the Kimmel segment is officially the second largest in the U.S. this year, and its appearance in Los Angeles included a full-scale grand unveiling outside the TCL Chinese Theater, complete with celebrity guests like Jesse Palmer and Landon Barker. This blurring of the lines between a genuine public spectacle and a televised advertisement is the hallmark of modern brand integrations. The segment didn't feel like a commercial break because, in a way, the commercial had already happened on the streets of Hollywood, and the show was simply reporting on it. The comedy culminated in the segment's payoff, a classic Guillermo moment that seamlessly integrated the product. There's a rumor that I'm very hungry, and that you have a basket of Raising Cane's chicken fingers behind your back, Rodriguez said, thrusting his microphone toward Graves. Any comment on that? Upon being offered a chicken tender, Rodriguez's mission was accomplished, and he was ready to toss back to Kimmel in the studio, but not before receiving a final branded keepsake, a miniature pumpkin carved in his own likeness. The return of this format is notable for Jimmy Kimmel Live on several fronts. It marks the first major sponsored piece since Kimmel's controversial, though temporary, removal from his show in September due to an ongoing dispute between the network and his staff. Prior to this, the last similar integration was a pre-taped skit for Kit Kat in mid-September. The resumption of these elaborate activations signals a return to business as usual and underscores their financial importance to the show's ecosystem. Kimmel is not alone in this endeavor. Across the late-night landscape, competitors are engaging in similar ballets with advertisers. The Tonight Show frequently integrates brands into its popular games and segments, while Late Night with Seth Meyers and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert have both produced sophisticated, pre-taped branded sketches that often go viral, reaching audiences far beyond their initial broadcast. This trend reflects a broader shift in the media economy. As DVRs and streaming services allow viewers to skip traditional commercials, the value of an ad that is embedded within the actual content of the show has skyrocketed. For brands, it offers engagement that a 30-second spot cannot guarantee. For the shows, it provides the budget to produce ambitious comedy pieces they might not otherwise be able to greenlight. The challenge, and the art, lies in maintaining the audience's trust. When done poorly, sponsored content can feel jarring and cynical, breaking the comic spell. But when executed with the deft touch of a Guillermo Rodriguez segment, using a real 2,500-pound pumpkin as a prop, the integration can enhance the comedy, offering a spectacle that is both authentically silly and strategically sound. In today's late-night TV, the most successful hosts aren't just comedians. They are curators of a new kind of entertainment, where the line between the show and the ad is not just blurred, but creatively erased.